Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you.
Hey Dad, how's it going? Yeah, Hollywood's great. Yeah, still a loser. Oh, it's like that tits.
Nicky Katt, the talented actor whose career spanned decades, passed away on April 12, 2025, at the age of 54. Known for his distinctive presence on both the big and small screens, Katt's memorable performances in films like Dazed and Confused and the TV series Boston Public cemented his place in the hearts of audiences. Born on May 11, 1970, in South Dakota, Katt began his career as a child actor, with his first role on the beloved TV show Fantasy Island at just 10 years old. He later captured the attention of fans with his portrayal of the bully Clint in Dazed and Confused, a role that made him a recognizable face in the world of indie cinema. Katt's career continued to flourish, with standout roles in A Time to Kill, School of Rock, Sin City, and The Dark Knight. He was also a regular on television, most notably as Harry Sennett on Boston Public, where he brought depth and sincerity to his role as a high school teacher. Beyond his impressive body of work, Katt was known for his ability to transform into any character, making each role feel fresh and unique. His versatility made him a respected figure in Hollywood, though he never sought the limelight of a leading man. Instead, he preferred to stay behind the scenes, contributing his craft to an array of projects, each of which benefited from his compelling performances. Katt's health struggles were not widely known, but his passing at a young age has left a hole in the entertainment industry. Though he may not have been the most public of figures, his work speaks volumes. Nicky Katt's legacy will continue through the unforgettable characters he portrayed, reminding us that sometimes it's the supporting roles that truly leave a lasting impact on our hearts. Jeffrey Runnings, the founding bassist and vocalist of the Nebraska-based indie band For Against, passed away on March 3, 2025, at the age of 61 after a battle with stage 4 cancer. His death marks a significant loss in the world of indie music, where his unique sound and passion for his craft left a lasting impact. Born in Omaha, Nebraska, on April 22, 1963, Runnings was deeply connected to music from a young age. His distinctive style, playing right-handed guitars upside down as a left-hander, reflected his creative spirit. He also worked at a cat cafe, showcasing his quirky personality and love for animals. In 1984, he co-founded For Against, known for their atmospheric dream pop sound, blending post-punk influences with melodic depth. With albums like Echelons, 1987, and Aperture, 1993, the band earned a devoted following. Runnings also released solo work, including Primitives and Smalls, 2016, and his final solo LP, Peaked, will be released soon, featuring rare recordings from the late 1980s. Runnings was remembered not only for his musical talent, but for his generous, thoughtful nature. He often shared mixtapes and handwritten letters with friends, reflecting his deep love for music and the people around him. He is survived by his husband Sean, his brother Steve, nephews Rudy and Phil, niece Christina, and Uncle Gerald. His passing is a great loss, but his music and legacy will continue to resonate for years to come.
Put a lot of passion into what I do, and I think that translates to the audience.
The drummer was a rock.
Clem Burke, the legendary drummer and founding member of Blondie, passed away on April 6, 2025, at the age of 70, following a private battle with cancer. For over 5 decades, Burke's powerful rhythms and boundless energy helped shape the sound of American punk and new wave, making him one of the most respected drummers in rock history. Born in Bayonne, New Jersey, Burke began playing in local bands before moving to New York, where his quest to find a charismatic frontperson led him to Blondie in 1975. As the band soared to international fame with hits like Heart of Glass, Call Me, and The Tide is High, Burke's drumming became its driving force, precise, unpredictable, and bursting with personality. Beyond Blondie, Burke brought his talent to some of music's most iconic names, including Bob Dylan, Iggy Pop, Joan Jett, the Ramones, Eurythmics, and Nancy Sinatra. His versatility allowed him to move between genres with ease, whether pounding out punk anthems or adding nuance to disco-infused grooves. Despite his growing acclaim, Burke remained grounded. Known as a rock and roll survivalist, he embraced both the spotlight and the sidelines, performing with supergroups and even tribute bands with the same passion. Until his final year, he continued to tour and record, appearing at events like Coachella 2023. Burke's illness was kept private, but his work ethic never waned. As his bandmates Debbie Harry and Chris Stein shared, Clem was not just a drummer, he was the heartbeat of Blondie. His influence transcends generations. For fans and fellow musicians alike, Clem Burke was more than a drummer. He was a force, steady, electric, and unforgettable.
And I said, but there's going to be 500 people from the media here who want to see you. And
Don Mischer, one of the most influential figures in live television, passed away peacefully in his sleep on April 11, 2025, at the age of 85. For more than 6 decades, Mischer brought some of the most iconic moments in American cultural history into living rooms across the country, directing and producing shows that defined generations. Born on March 5, 1940, in San Antonio, Texas, Mischer was captivated by the magic of television from a young age. What began as a fascination quickly turned into a calling. After earning degrees in sociology from the University of Texas at Austin, he launched a career that would span everything from Motown 25, where Michael Jackson debuted the moonwalk, to Super Bowl halftime shows, the Oscars, the Emmys, and multiple Olympic opening ceremonies. Mischer was a master of the high-wire act of live TV, orchestrating productions featuring legends like Prince, Beyoncé, Paul McCartney, and Barbra Streisand. His attention to detail and deep respect for performers earned him 15 Emmy Awards, 10 Directors Guild of America Awards, a Peabody, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Even in his final year, he was still working, his last project being the 2025 Breakthrough Prize ceremony. Though he spent his life managing the pressure of live broadcasts, Mischer was known for his calm presence, kindness, and professionalism. In his 2023 memoir, 10 Seconds to Air, he reflected humbly on his career, saying he simply wanted to be remembered as someone who loved his work and treated people well. Don Mischer's legacy lives on in the moments that moved us, the stories that united us, and the excellence that inspired generations of creators to follow his path.
How you been, man? I've been good. My ultimate mentor and inspiration.
Oh, making me sound old.
Quincy Jones was a towering figure in American music, a visionary whose influence touched every corner of the entertainment world. Born on March 14, 1933, in Chicago, Quincy rose from a turbulent childhood to become one of the most celebrated producers, arrangers, and composers of the 20th and 21st centuries. His career spanned over 7 decades, from backing jazz legends like Count Basie to producing Michael Jackson's Thriller, the best-selling album of all time. A master collaborator, Jones worked with icons such as Frank Sinatra, Ray Charles, Ella Fitzgerald, and Miles Davis. He arranged timeless classics, composed over 35 film scores, and helped shape the soundtracks of generations. His television and film work included The Color Purple, Sanford and Son, and Roots. With 28 Grammy wins and 2 honorary Oscars, Quincy wasn't just part of history, he made it. In addition to his artistic genius, Quincy broke barriers as one of the first black executives at a major record label. He championed diversity long before it became a mainstream conversation and used his success to elevate others, launching careers and opening doors for countless artists, actors, and creators. Jones passed away peacefully at his home in Bel Air on November 3, 2024, at the age of 91, following complications related to age. He had been surrounded by family just weeks before receiving an honorary Academy Award recognizing his unparalleled legacy. From jazz clubs to Olympic ceremonies, from studio sessions to philanthropic efforts around the globe, Quincy Jones leaves behind more than music. He leaves behind a movement. His life reminds us of the power of creativity, resilience, and using one's platform to build a better, more beautiful world.
That cookie? That was a real cookie. What?
Breaking news. Today we revisit the story of one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, an actor, a musician, and a cultural icon whose journey from West Philadelphia to worldwide stardom has inspired generations. We are talking about Will Smith. And before we dive deeper, let us ask you, what is your favorite Will Smith moment? Was it his rap days, the sitcom laughs, or the powerhouse film roles? Let us know in the comments below. Because Will's story belongs to all of us. Born Willard Carroll Smith Jr. on September 25, 1968, in Philadelphia, Will was a bright light from the start. With quick wit, charisma, and a deep sense of curiosity, he learned early on how to blend humor and heart, 2 traits that would later define his career. Raised in a working-class family, Will developed the drive that would propel him into the spotlight. He first broke through as part of the Grammy-winning duo DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Their hit, Parents Just Don't Understand, didn't just make waves, it made history. But it was the Fresh Prince of Bel Air that turned Will into a household name. A young man from Philly navigating a new life in Beverly Hills, it was more than just a sitcom. It was a cultural moment, and it launched him into the world of film, where he took on roles that pushed his limits. From 6 Degrees of Separation to the box office juggernauts Bad Boys, Independence Day, and Men in Black, Will quickly became one of the most bankable stars in Hollywood. His performances balanced charm with depth, action with vulnerability. And when he portrayed Muhammad Ali in Ali, he earned his first Oscar nomination, a defining moment in his artistic evolution. But behind the smiles, behind the polished premieres and blockbusters, there was a deeper story. Will's path, like many of ours, was filled with struggles. The physical demands of action roles, the mental pressure of fame, and the emotional toll of constant public attention began to wear on him. He pushed his body to extremes through training, grueling filming schedules, and high-performance expectations, all while managing the demands of fatherhood, marriage, and public life. At times, those pressures took a quiet toll. Will himself has opened up in recent years about the importance of mental wellness. In interviews, he reflected on moments of burnout and the need to step back, heal, and reconnect with what truly matters. He spoke about grief, about the people he lost, the friendships that faded, the lonely moments in a room full of applause. And yet, Will kept evolving. In films like The Pursuit of Happiness, 7 Pounds, and King Richard, which finally earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor, he gave us raw, emotional performances that felt deeply human. These were not just roles. They were reflections of his growth, his fatherhood, his fears, and his strength. Off-screen, he embraced new platforms. Through social media, he invited fans into his world, not the glamorized version, but the real one. He documented workouts, travel adventures, moments of reflection, and lessons in resilience. His YouTube channel became a space for motivation, for humor, and for healing. Fans saw him not just as a star, but as a man trying, just like all of us, to do better. He supported his children, Jaden and Willow, as they pursued their own artistic paths. He leaned into mentorship, offered chances to rising talents, and used his production companies to tell stories that mattered. He continued to champion creativity, curiosity, and courage, even when facing scrutiny. Recently, health has become more central to Will's story, not just physical strength, but emotional wellness. After decades in the limelight, he has taken more time to reflect, to rest, to recover. And while he remains active, his focus seems to be shifting toward impact, legacy, and peace. So what is next for Will Smith? Perhaps more behind-the-scenes work, perhaps another film that stirs the soul, or maybe, just maybe, a season of stillness. Whatever it is, one thing is clear. Will Smith is not just a star. He is a survivor, a storyteller, a man who has fallen, risen, and chosen to rise again every time. Now we ask you, what moment made you fall in love with Will Smith's work? Was it the laugh in Fresh Prince, the tears in Pursuit of Happiness, or the wisdom he shares today? Drop your thoughts below and help us honor an icon whose light still burns bright, even when he chooses to stand just outside the spotlight. With heartfelt respect, we remember Tito Jackson, the soulful guitarist and gentle spirit behind one of America's most beloved musical families. Born on October 15, 1953, in Gary, Indiana, Tito was a founding member of the Jackson 5, the iconic Motown group that reshaped pop and R&B music in the late 1960s and 70s. Though often quieter than his superstar siblings, Tito's steady presence and smooth guitar work were essential to the group's harmony and stage magic. From the joyful bounce of ABC to the timeless promise of I'll Be There, Tito helped bring an infectious energy to living rooms across America. His guitar wasn't just an instrument, it was his voice, speaking volumes as his brothers dazzled center stage. Over the years, he remained a constant, both in performance and in spirit, staying connected to fans through tours, reunions, and solo projects that spoke to his lifelong love of the blues. In later years, Tito found renewed purpose in his own music. Albums like Tito Time and Under Your Spell showcased his passion for storytelling through song, collaborating with legends like Stevie Wonder and George Benson. More than a performer, he was a mentor, guiding his sons, Taj, Terrell, and TJ, as they formed the group 3T, continuing the family legacy with heart and harmony. Tito Jackson passed away on September 15, 2024, at the age of 70, following a heart attack while traveling. His family remembered him as a man full of kindness, wisdom, and unwavering love. For many, he will forever be Papa T, a symbol of quiet strength, musical dedication, and enduring love. His rhythm may be still, but his song lives on. What are your favorite memories of Tito and the Jackson 5? Share your thoughts and celebrate his legacy with us below.
Bane of my existence. I was a one-hit wonder twice.
Where am I? Who am I?
Do you remember David Johansen, the charismatic voice of the New York Dolls, the sharp-witted crooner Buster Poindexter, the radio host who mixed Maria Callas with punk and jump blues? Born in Staten Island in 1950, Johansen reshaped American music with a rare blend of grit, humor, and elegance that made him unforgettable across generations. He first burst onto the scene in the early 70s as the frontman of the New York Dolls, a band Rolling Stone would later call Dirty Angels with Painted Faces. Their glam punk style, edgy lyrics, and gender-bending image were shocking to some, electrifying to others, but undeniably influential. Their music would inspire everyone from the Ramones to Blondie to Motley Crue. Johansen later reinvented himself as Buster Poindexter, lighting up dance floors with the infectious "hot, hot, hot," and proving that reinvention could be as iconic as a debut. Even in later years, his mind remained sharp, his voice raspy with life, and his presence magnetic. "I just wanted to bring the walls down and have a party," he once said. "Whatever mood I'm in, I just claw my way out of it on stage." After a long and private battle with stage 4 cancer and a brain tumor, David passed peacefully on March 1st, 2025, at age 75, surrounded by music, sunlight, and his beloved family. Younger artists still study his every move, his style, his swagger, his defiant vulnerability. "David wasn't just cool, he was fearless," said Martin Scorsese, who directed a documentary about his life. "He made you believe that being yourself, loudly, proudly, was the most rock and roll thing you could ever do." So here's to David Johansen, the rebel poet of rock, the voice behind the chaos, and the soul of a scene. Let's carry forward the spirit he gave us, raw, real, and always ready to sing. Tony Roberts was a distinguished American stage and screen actor whose charm, poise, and unmistakable voice graced Broadway and Hollywood for more than 5 decades. Born on October 22, 1939 in New York City, Roberts grew up immersed in performance. His father, Ken Roberts, was a famed radio announcer. That early exposure ignited a passion that would carry Tony from the footlights of Broadway to iconic roles in classic American films. To many, Roberts is best remembered for his long-running collaboration with Woody Allen. He played the smooth-talking best friend in Annie Hall, Play It Again, Sam, and 4 other films, often serving as the perfect foil to Allen's neurotic persona. On stage, he earned 2 Tony Award nominations and appeared in over 20 Broadway productions, including Barefoot in the Park, Sugar, Victor, Victoria, and The Tale of the Allergist's Wife. Whether leading or supporting, Roberts brought grace and wit to every role. Tony Roberts passed away on February 7, 2025, at the age of 85, from complications related to lung cancer. He spent his final days at home in Manhattan, surrounded by his loved ones. His daughter, Nicole Burley, shared that, "My father brought dignity and warmth to the craft of acting. He was a man of integrity, both on stage and off." Generations of actors continue to learn from his subtlety and timing, his ability to elevate every scene without overshadowing others. His legacy endures through the films, plays, and audiobooks he lent his voice to, and through every actor inspired by his commitment to the art. As Tony once said with a smile, "I don't need to be the star. I just want to be remembered for making it real." And indeed, he was. Angie Stone was a powerful voice in American music, whose journey spanned 5 decades, marked by resilience, passion, and groundbreaking artistry. Born on December 18, 1961 in Columbia, South Carolina, she first rose to fame in the late 1970s as Angie B., a founding member of The Sequence, one of the first all-female rap groups signed to Sugar Hill Records. Their hit, "Funk You Up," helped pave the way for future generations of women in hip-hop and was later sampled by artists like Dr. Dre and Erykah Badu. In the late 90s, Angie reinvented herself as a leading voice in the neo-soul movement with her solo debut, Black Diamond. Hits like No More Rain, In This Cloud, and Wish I Didn't Miss You showcased her deeply expressive vocals and emotional depth. Her albums Mahogany Soul, Stone Love, and The Art of Love and War earned her 3 Grammy nominations and cemented her legacy as a storyteller of love, strength, and vulnerability. Beyond music, Angie made her mark on television and film, with credits in Girlfriends, Moesha, Scary Movie Fee, and Ride Along. She also lent her voice to the beloved theme song of Girlfriends, a show that connected deeply with audiences for its heart and authenticity. According to CNN, Angie Stone passed away on March 1, 2025, following a vehicle collision while traveling from Alabama to Georgia. Just weeks earlier, she had reflected on her legacy, writing, "God gave me this gift, and I have shared it with the world. Even at this point, I am asking my Creator, what is next, because I have so much more to give." Angie is survived by her son, recording artist Suavo Twain. Her life remains a beacon of creative truth and soul-stirring authenticity, a voice that will never fade.
Sitting in a cool room, staring at the sea.
J.D. Souther was a masterful American songwriter, singer, and actor whose melodies helped define the Southern California sound of the 1970s. Born in Detroit and raised in Texas, Souther moved to Los Angeles in the late 60s, where he quickly became a key figure among a circle of artists that included Glenn Frey, Don Henley, Linda Ronstadt, and Jackson Browne. He co-wrote some of the Eagles' most iconic hits, New Kid in Town, Best of My Love, Heartache Tonight, and The Sad Cafe, crafting lyrics and harmonies that would soundtrack generations. While Souther's own recordings like You're Only Lonely and Her Town 2, a duet with James Taylor, brought him chart success, he remained more comfortable behind the pen than in the spotlight. Fame, he once admitted, was never my goal. Writing songs that last, that was always the mission. His collaborations extended beyond music. Souther appeared in TV shows like 30-something and Nashville, and films including Postcards from the Edge. He was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2013. On September 17, 2024, J.D. Souther passed away peacefully at his home in New Mexico, as confirmed by his team at Solters PR. Though no official cause was publicly released, he had remained active, performing just days before his passing and preparing for a tour with Carla Bonoff. J.D. Souther's legacy is stitched into the fabric of American music. His songs, sung by the Eagles, Ronstadt, and countless others, carry the emotional honesty and craftsmanship that never goes out of style. For those who came of age with a record spinning and a sunset view, Souther's music was, and still is, a trusted companion.
'65 Eaton Place.
Ruby, don't interfere.
The guest was dining at the house tonight with Mercy. Says good morning.
Jean Marsh was more than an actress. She was a storyteller who bridged generations with grace, depth, and unwavering passion. Born on July 1, 1934, in Stoke Newington, London, Marsh's career spanned over 6 decades across stage, screen, and literature. She found early success on British and American television, with memorable appearances in Doctor Who, The Twilight Zone, and The Saint. But it was her co-creation and portrayal of Rose Buck, the groundbreaking series Upstairs, Downstairs, that defined her legacy. As a maid witnessing the rise and fall of Edwardian society, Marsh didn't just play a character. She gave voice to the untold stories of women often overlooked in history. The show won global acclaim, including 7 Primetime Emmy Awards, with Marsh herself taking home 1 in 1975. She reprised her iconic role in the 2010 reboot, even after a minor stroke in 2011, demonstrating the resilience and dedication that marked her entire career. Jean Marsh passed away peacefully on April 13, 2025, at age 90, at her home in London. Her longtime friend, director Michael Lindsay Hogg, shared that she had been surrounded by love and care in her final moments. Complications from dementia were cited as the cause. Appointed an officer of the Order of the British Empire in 2012, Marsh was celebrated not only for her performances, but also for her storytelling, warmth, and wisdom. What are your favorite memories of Jean Marsh's performances? Did Upstairs, downstairs leave a lasting impression on your love for classic drama? Share your reflections in the comments below. Her story continues through those she inspired. Joey de Vieira, a beloved figure from the golden age of television, will always be remembered for the warmth and charm he brought to screens across America. Born on April 8, 1944, in Los Angeles, California, Vieira began acting at a young age, quickly rising to fame for his role as Sylvester "Porky" Brockway on the classic series Lassie. Between 1954 and 1957, he appeared in 91 episodes, becoming a familiar face to families who gathered weekly around their television sets. Performing under the stage name Donald Keeler, a tribute to his aunt, film legend Ruby Keeler, Vieira brought a lovable innocence to the role of Porky, the farm boy with the iconic beanie cap and an unbreakable bond with his dog. But his talents stretched far beyond Lassie. Over the years, Vieira took on memorable roles in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Patriot, and My Three Sons, showcasing his adaptability across decades of changing entertainment. In later years, Vieira continued to engage with creative work, even seeing his music sampled by modern artists like Tyler, the Creator. Despite a long hospital stay and declining health, he remained surrounded by family and love. On April 7, 2025, just 8 minutes before his 81st birthday, he passed peacefully, according to family, friends, and Fox News Digital. Joey de Vieira leaves behind not only a legacy in television history, but also a spirit of kindness, dedication, and connection. His former Lassie co-star John Provost called him a talented actor and even a successful record producer. Kyle Burch was a captivating young talent whose love for theater lit up every stage he graced. Born with a voice both soulful and commanding, Kyle graduated from the London College of Music in 2020 and quickly made his mark as one of Britain's most promising musical theater performers. Audiences first took notice of his powerful presence in The Color Purple and later in the critically acclaimed West End production of A Strange Loop. In the latter, he played Usher, a young man grappling with identity, creativity, and self-worth. Reviewers praised Burch for bringing depth and honesty to a role that demanded both vulnerability and brilliance. He manages to convey all of the conflict without coming across as self-indulgent, one critic noted. Kyle's journey was not without challenges. He began his professional career during the global pandemic, a time of great uncertainty for the performing arts. Yet through it all, his resilience never wavered. "There's nothing quite like theater," he once said. "I can't wait to hear the orchestra warming up and be transported into another world." Sadly, Kyle passed away on December 2, 2024, at just 26 years old. His agent, Russell Smith, confirmed the news, remembering Kyle as a truly remarkable talent, a light in our lives. Though no official cause was announced, his departure came as a shock to the theater community he so deeply moved. Kyle's impact is already being felt in the next generation of performers inspired by his voice, his passion, and his courage. What are your favorite memories of discovering young talent on stage? We'd love to hear your reflections in the comments.
Officer, hi.
You need help?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
What do you got there?
Breaking news. A living legend. A man of few words and even fewer regrets. But as Clint Eastwood quietly enters another chapter of his life, fans around the world are left asking, how does he keep going? What fuels the fire of a man who has already done it all? Let's take a look at the extraordinary journey of one of Hollywood's most iconic figures, Clint Eastwood. From small-town beginnings to global superstardom, Eastwood's story is one of grit, endurance, and unshakable purpose. And if you have a favorite Clint Eastwood performance, we want to know. Drop it in the comments below. Let us know how his legacy has impacted you. Born on May 31st, 1930, in San Francisco, Eastwood's early life was shaped by constant movement. His family relocated across California during his formative years, teaching him resilience and adaptability. Tall for his age and quiet by nature, Eastwood worked odd jobs, from lifeguarding to loading logs at a pulp mill, but few could have predicted the future that lay ahead. Beneath that calm demeanor was a fire waiting to ignite. That spark found its flame in 1959 with Rawhide, the television western that lassoed America's imagination. Though not the star at first, Clint's presence was undeniable. His stoic expressions and subtle strength soon made him a standout. And when the series ended, instead of fading from view, he used it as a springboard. Then came Dirty Harry. In 1971, Eastwood stepped into the shoes of San Francisco cop Harry Callahan, and the world would never see law enforcement, or Clint, quite the same way again. The role was explosive, gritty, unapologetically direct. While some criticized its portrayal of justice, audiences were hooked. It was Clint Eastwood in his purest form, sharp, steady, and unforgettable. But Eastwood was not content with being just a star in front of the camera. That same year, he made his directorial debut with play Misty for Me. It was clear he had a vision. Throughout the 1970s, he directed and starred in films like High Plains Drifter and The Outlaw Josie Wales, proving that he could not only command a scene, but shape its every frame. His stories were raw, his characters complex, and his style unmistakable. Behind the scenes, Eastwood quietly battled the physical demands of his career. Though he maintained a strict routine of balanced meals, steady exercise, and measured rest, whispers occasionally emerged, concerns about heart health, about stamina. He never confirmed anything publicly. Why would he? For Clint, actions have always spoken louder than words. Personal losses also left their mark. Friends, mentors, collaborators, they came and went, some taken by time, others by tragedy. These departures reminded Eastwood that every moment mattered, sharpening his resolve to tell stories that endure. The 1992 Western Unforgiven was a turning point. Here was a film that deconstructed the very myths Eastwood had helped build. A tale of violence, redemption, and regret, it swept the Academy Awards, Best Picture, Best Director, and more. Clint Eastwood, once a symbol of tough guy bravado, was now Hollywood's elder statesman of introspection, and he did not stop there. In 2004, he released $1 Million Baby. Once again, he stunned the industry. The film, both heartbreaking and poetic, won 4 Oscars and showed that Eastwood's creative fire still burned bright. Even as whispers continued about his stamina, especially during back-to-back directing schedules, his steady stream of work told another story. Over the years, Clint Eastwood became known for historical dramas that probed deep moral truths. Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima offered a dual perspective on World War II. Sully, the 1517 to Paris, and Richard Jewell turned real-life moments into cinematic reflections on courage and misunderstanding. While many of his contemporaries slowed down or stepped away, Eastwood remained active, sometimes even starring in the films he directed. At an age when most settle into retirement, he kept returning to the set, drawn by curiosity, not obligation. Of course, personal life and public scrutiny followed him as well. Clint has experienced high-profile relationships, family changes, and occasional controversy. But through it all, he remained grounded, often retreating into a life of privacy. He never chased headlines. He let his films speak instead. So where is Clint Eastwood now? At over 90 years old, he remains a working force, choosing projects that matter, quietly guiding new talent and proving that purpose has no expiration date. Yes, he walks a little slower now. And yes, fans occasionally wonder if the next project might be his last. But each time he returns to the screen, or to the director's chair, he reminds us what it means to live with intent, to evolve without losing one's essence. Clint Eastwood's journey is more than a career. It is a testament to endurance, reflection, and quiet strength. He is a man who shaped the image of toughness and later dismantled it with wisdom. Through illness, grief, triumph, and transformation, he has never strayed from the path of the storyteller. So now we ask you, what is your favorite Clint Eastwood moment? Was it Dirty Harry's famous line, the haunting silence of the bridges of Madison County, or the gut punch of $1 Million Baby? Share your memories below, and let us continue to honor the legacy of a man who turned every scene into a statement and every role into a revelation. Because in a world that changes faster than ever, Clint Eastwood remains a reminder that some icons are built to last.